Hello everybody, Joshua Yale here, and if you are a DC fan like me, then you are ready for another year of DC movies, DC shows, DC games, and of course, DC comics. I'm going to list all the big DC stuff coming in 2024, so you can plan your calendars accordingly. Wouldn't want you to book your wedding on the same day as the new Joker movie, right? Gotta keep your priorities in order. So one thing before we get started, as the DC fandom has become accustomed to, there are often many different DC projects in various stages of development at any given time. So in order to give you the clearest look possible at what to expect from DC in 2024, I'm only going to include confirmed projects with a release date / window, or at least it has a verifiable source like a producer or director saying it will be coming out in 2024. Look, what's the point of being a Superman fan if we're not going to hold ourselves to some journalistic integrity? Now, without further ado, here's everything DC in 2024, starting with the movies. The Oscar-winning, billion-dollar grossing solo Joker origin movie is getting a sequel titled Joker Folie à Deux, which is French for shared madness. That's right, in Joker 2, failed comedian Arthur Fleck will be sharing his madness and the spotlight with none other than Harley Quinn, played by Lady Gaga. Talk about a bad romance. The first film left off with Fleck incarcerated in Arkham Asylum, and that's traditionally where Dr. Harleen Quinzel first meets the clown prince of crime. So that's where we expect their love game to kick off. Love Game is the name of a Lady Gaga song. Director Todd Phillips is returning to direct, and actor Zazie Beetz will be reprising her role as Joker's unrequited love interest, Sophie Drummond. Plus, new actors will be joining the musical production, including Brendan Gleeson, Jacob Laughlin, Catherine Keener, and Harry Lottie, although the characters they're playing are still unknown. Joker Folie à Deux releases on October 4th, 2024. Now, as for live-action DC films in 2024, that's it. So you may be wondering why that is. Well, thanks to the DC shakeup that saw James Gunn and Peter Safran take over as co-CEOs of DC Films, the DC Universe is undergoing a reboot. The DCEU, aka the Snyderverse, as we know it, has come to an end, and Gunn's Superman Legacy movie will be the first DC movie of a new shared universe continuity. But that film isn't flying into theaters until July 11th, 2025. As for Batman, Matt Reeves is currently developing The Batman Part 2 with Robert Pattinson returning as the Caped Crusader, and that film is set to release on October 3rd, 2025. Just like the Joker movies, this is an Elseworlds film that takes place in its own world unconnected to the larger DC universe. So there are certainly more DC films on the way, but we'll only be getting one in 2024 as we wait for the new DCU to get rolling.
I can fix things. You can also destroy everything.
That said, we are getting a few other DC movies this year, they're just not live action. First up, the most iconic event series in DC Comics history is finally getting the animated movie treatment. It's Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1. You heard that correctly. This is only the first installment in a Crisis trilogy, with the second and third animated features to follow later this year, so you don't have to wait an infinite amount of time to see the whole thing. Epic trilogies are usually drawn out over years, so I welcome putting this one on the fast track. Speaking of fast, the movie appears to be a faithful adaptation of the Marv Wolfman and George Perez classic, featuring The Flash and Supergirl in starring roles alongside Batman, Superman, and the rest of the Justice League as the Monitor assembles a group of heroes from across the DC multiverse to battle the universe-destroying Anti-Monitor. Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1 releases on January 23rd, 2024.
It's true. It's all true.
Next up is Watchmen. Yeah, DC really is leaving no classic comic book stone unturned. They revealed that in 2024, we can expect an R-rated animated adaptation of what is arguably the greatest comic book ever written. Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons' groundbreaking superhero thriller has already been adapted into a live-action film by Zack Snyder, which actually had the Tales of the Black Freighter sequence animated, and they stitched it all together on the super-duper, Blu-ray version, and that was really cool. But anyways, now we're getting a fresh take on Rorschach's mission to find the comedian's killer in a dark world populated by the likes of Owlman, Silk Spectre, and the all-powerful Dr. Manhattan. And that just leaves us with one question. Squid or no squid? We'll have to watch The Watchmen to find out. Watchmen will release sometime in 2024. Batman is no stranger to being given stylish reinventions over the years, and his next one can be seen in Aztec Batman: Clash of Empires. It's a new DC animated feature that embraces Mexican history and reimagines Batman's story in the time of the Aztec Empire. The film follows a young man as he flees the Spanish conquistadors that murdered his father, and he takes refuge in a temple of the Bat God where he trains and plots his revenge. Aztec Batman: Clash of Empires will release in 2024. That's all for movies. Now it's time for DC TV. The Superman and Lois television series will have its 4th and final season in 2024. Season 4 will have 10 episodes and feature Superman and Lois finally going up against the Man of Steel's arch nemesis, Lex Luthor, now that he's out of prison. Hey, if they're gonna go out, may as well go out swinging against the best Superman villain there is. The final season of Superman and Lois is coming sometime in 2024. Batman Caped Crusader is a new animated series from some familiar Bat names like Matt Reeves and Bruce Timm, and the head writer is Ed Brubaker, the guy who co-created The Winter Soldier. That is a murderer's row of talent that knows a thing or two about superheroes and genre storytelling. So it's exciting to see what they've got in store for this show, which will be streaming on Prime Video. The producers describe the show as, quote, thrilling, cinematic, and evocative of Batman's noir roots while diving deeper into the psychology of these iconic characters. And Bruce Timm said the show will be a spiritual successor to Batman the Animated Series. I'm no world's greatest detective, but all the clues are pointing to this being one heck of a Batman show. Batman Caped Crusader will come to streaming in 2024. We have to wait another year for the next Batman movie, but at least we have a Batman spin-off show to tide us over until then. That's right, Matt Reeves' Batman saga is expanding beyond the movies to the small screen, starting with The Penguin. Colin Farrell reprises his role as Oswald Oz Cobblepot in all his prosthetic makeup and that unforgettable accent.
What people do here, ain't got nothing to do with me.
The series picks up right where the Batman left off, with Gotham City flooded and in disarray after the Riddler's attack. The Penguin's 8-episode season 1 was originally going to waddle onto our screens in spring 2024, but the SAG and WGA strikes saw it delayed till late 2024. A quick aside on the Batverse before we move on. In addition to The Penguin, Reeves is working on 2 more TV spin-offs. One is based around Arkham Asylum and the other focuses on the GCPD. Both are still in development, so it's possible the world of the Batman will continue to expand. Okay, that's all. On to the next show. Creature Commandos is exactly what it sounds like. A group of various DC creatures and freaks are brought together by none other than Amanda Waller to complete dangerous Black Ops missions. Creature Commandos! The Bride of Frankenstein will be the leader of the team that also includes her hubby, Frankenstein, Rick Flagg's father, and Weasel, who you will remember was shown to have miraculously survived in the post-credit scenes of the Suicide Squad movie. This animated series from James Gunn is part of the new DC universe, making it the very first entry in the DCU's Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. And given the voice cast is full of familiar actor faces such as David Harbour as Frankenstein, Indira Varma as the Bride of Frankenstein, Frank Grillo as Rick Flag Sr., and Sean Gunn once again voicing Weasel, well, we wouldn't be surprised if they reprise their roles in live action one day. So, if you watch this animated series now, it may pay off in live action later. The Creature Commandos are coming your way sometime in 2024. The high-flying breakout comedic character Kite Man from the Harley Quinn animated series is getting his own spin-off series, appropriately titled Kite Man Hell Yeah. The 10-episode first season will star Kite Man and his girlfriend Golden Glider in the same excessively violent and raunchy style of the Harley Quinn show. The story is focused around Kite Man doing various crimes for hire in service of various DC baddies so he can afford to buy Gotham City's seedy supervillain bar, Noonan's. And piece of quick trivia, Noonan's was the original title of the spin-off before it was changed to Kite Man Hell Yeah, and I think we can all agree that was a great choice. Season 1 of Kite Man Hell Yeah will grace your TV screen in 2024. As for the Maiden of Mischief herself, where is the next season of Harley Quinn? While the show was renewed for season 5, there's been no word on when it will debut. It is possible it will come out in 2024 after the release of Kite Man, but it could just as easily be a 2025 release. And for that other ongoing DC animated series, it's the same deal as with Harley Quinn. My Adventures with Superman, the animated series, was renewed for another season, season 2, but there's been no word on when it'll come out. 2024, 2025, it's anyone's guess at this point. Suicide Squad Isekai is a wild and crazy DC anime series that sends Task Force X to another world in traditional Isekai fashion, and then we watch as the likes of Harley Quinn, King Shark, and Peacemaker try to survive by smashing, shooting, and biting everything they can in their new fantasy setting. Attack on Titan's Wit Studio is producing the series, so it shouldn't be any surprise it's full of blood and violence and enjoys a TV MA rating. That's it for TV. Now let's whip out our controllers and talk about video games. Looks like Task Force X is pulling double duty in 2024, as the year also sees the release of the highly anticipated video game Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now, killing the Justice League is a tall order, but they've been mind controlled by Brainiac and someone's gotta do it. So here comes Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, King Shark, and Deadshot in a third-person multiplayer action-adventure shoot-'em-up set in Superman's stomping ground of Metropolis. The game comes from developer Rocksteady and takes place in the same universe as their Batman Arkham games, aka the Arkhamverse. It is also notable for being Kevin Conroy's final performance as Batman before his passing in 2022. Now, I gotta keep it real. It is no secret that Kill the Justice League has seen some fan backlash leading up to its release.
You don't want to mess with that boy.
The main criticisms are directed towards some lackluster gameplay elements, its live service aspects, and the requirement for a constant internet connection. Not to mention how Captain Boomerang fights with a gun instead of, you know, boomerangs. Will the game succeed despite these initial misgivings? We'll soon find out when Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League arrives on February 2nd, 2024. Perhaps there's a good comic book we can dig into that'll tide us over until then. And it turns out, DC is just the thing. Titans Beast World is the big crossover event series that will set the stage for DC Comics in 2024. It's a 6-issue story starring Beast Boy and the Titans as they try to save the world after the villainous Necrostar transforms millions of people and some iconic DC heroes and villains into beasts. The first 2 issues from writer Tom Taylor and artist Ivan Reyes were released in 2023, and the remaining 4 will come out in 2024. After Titans Beast World kicks off 2024 with a roar, the fallout of that story will be felt throughout the DC universe and continue the Dawn of DC publishing initiative. In the wake of this event, a trinity of evil will rise up and cause some major conflicts going forward. We're talking Amanda Waller in March's new Suicide Squad Dream Team series, Brainiac and the Brainiac Queen in House of Brainiac, told across both Superman and Action Comics, and the Joker in Zur-En-Arrh, that's his name, in the Batman ongoing comic series. Looks like between hairballs and hair-raising villains, DC's heroes will have their work cut out for them in 2024. And that is everything coming from DC in 2024. What are you most excited for? I gotta say, a Joker musical with Lady Gaga sounds like one of the most unhinged yet genius things I've ever heard. And it's unlike anything we've ever seen in the superhero genre that has gotten a bit samey these days, so I cannot wait to see it.
We'll just sit there and take it like good little boys.
Let me know your pick in the comments. And hey, keep it locked to IGN so we can talk about all this cool stuff when it comes out.